Hi guys, it's Andy from NismoTech, and in this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Thermaltake View 31. This case right here, it's coming in at around about £120 at the moment. It features a tempered glass side panel on both sides of the case, but also comes with three 140mm RGB ring fans included in the price and inside the case as well. So let's have a quick look around, show you all the specifications and the features, and then give you my thoughts on the case towards the end of the video. Okay, so let's start with the front of the case, and as you can see we've got this really nice tinted acrylic front panel. Obviously it allows for the ring fans to shine their RGB goodness all the way through the case, and it is tinted more or less to the same shade as what you get with the tempered glass side panels. It is curved on one side, and on the other side over here we have obviously got ventilation as well to obviously allow for airflow. Now if I remove the front, hopefully I can get it off, there we go. You can see that there, we have got the ventilation on that side as I mentioned, and obviously that curved effect on there. There's a bit of a fingerprint and a sort of scratch magnet unfortunately, but apart from that it's very well made. Obviously you've got the Thermaltake logo on there as well. And we get our first look at the two out of the three pre-installed ring fans, and these are 140mm. I'll go through these in a little bit more detail. Unfortunately at the front you can only really kind of fit two 140mm fans. You can fit a 200mm and also three 120 at the front, and obviously the radiator support for all-in-one liquid coolers or for custom loops. You can go up to a 380mm rad at the front here. You can see you've got a bracket here that obviously you can remove, but you've got a lot of channels for various different wiring etc to go all the way through. Everything seems to be very well manufactured, and obviously you've got a couple of different positions that you can put your fans in on here as well. Okay, so moving on to the side of the case, and we get our first look at the tempered glass side panel. And as you can see, again, it is obviously a little bit of a finger magnet, but one thing that I really do like about this case is that it's not just a solid piece of 4mm tempered glass that you have to use the thumb screws to go through the glass. We have actually got a bit of a framework around here, and you can see probably a little bit clearer on that side, obviously the way that it is actually engineered and put together, which I think looks a lot better than just having glass on the side. The only thing that I will say though is that the thumb screws are not retainable, so they do fall out, which is a little bit of a shame, but certainly it's a very strong, well made, put together side panel with tempered glass. So just pop that down there a moment, and obviously you can have a good look at the inside of the case. Now we've got a lot of room inside here. You'll see that we've got three hard drive caddies down on the side here. This can all be completely removed. The hard drives can sit around the back of the case, and that gives you a hell of a lot of room for water cooling, and also to really put in a really nice clean looking build. Now in addition to what you get here, you also get this bracket here which sits like so, and that will allow you to mount your graphics card vertically inside the case, which again is going to appeal to those that are really looking to show off their system. So it's quite a simple installation. It's just held in by three screws, and allows you to put obviously a graphics card in a vertical position. The only thing that you don't get is the cable, the PCI riser cable with this. You do have to buy that separately, so again that's a little bit of a disappointment. It would be nice seeing this is one of the features of the case for that cable to actually be included, but it's very simple and easy to actually put in. Another thing that you notice is that we've got no PSU cover. I'm quite a big fan of the PSU covers, but also those of you that want to show off your power supply, maybe you've got a white one, or maybe the RGB version of the Thermaltake Tough Power Grand that I've got here. Obviously it allows for the light to shine through a little bit better, but apart from that it looks really good. And one thing that I do really like about this case is how well it's actually put together and how strong it actually feels. Thermaltake have really upped their game with the quality of the materials that they've actually used. You can see here we've got quite a lot of open space here as well. Would be nice to have possibly a couple of panels that you can put over there just to hide that away if you needed to. We will put the hard drive caddies around the back there as well. I'll just pull one of these out here. I've got quite an old hard drive in here. Very well made, put together. They are plastic. In fact, let me just bring the other one out here as well. Very, very good construction. So you've got the SSD mount on there as well. Like I said, there are only 3 included, so you've got an option of 3 hard drives, whether that be mechanical or SSD in total. There's no more than that. Maybe you've got an option to buy an additional cage to put that on top if you want, but in my opinion 3 is definitely enough. This panel here, you can see that you can remove them by 2 screws, so that will completely open up this area. So you've got a lot of room for your pump reservoir, your radiators and your fans to go inside there as well. So let's have a look around the other side. Okay, so onto this side of the case, behind the motherboard tray, and as you can see we've got plenty of room back here for all your cable management, up to 30 centimeters of space back here to hide all your cables, etc. But with it being a tempered glass side panel, you're probably going to have to spend a bit of time with your cable management, so it means that you're going to be able to view through to this side of the case. Now, one thing that you can do, as I mentioned earlier, these hard drive caddies, you can move them to the back of the case, and you've got 3 positions, one up at the top here, one down here, and also one over here to actually put your hard drives. So it does mean that these holes are then covered up if you do want to move them around here, maybe with a sort of custom loop. You may prefer that option. We've got a nice big cutout area here for the CPU cooler. And we've got obviously plenty of space up here to route through your 8-pin and also any fan cables all the way through the top there, and obviously plenty of space down the side here. There's actually a couple of holes here to feed through as well. We've got a number of grommeted holes as well. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and plenty of tie down points, so it should be very easy to get a clean looking cable management around the back, but there is certainly plenty of room back here for you to make this look really good. Moving on to the back of the case, and the first thing that you'll notice is that beautiful ring LED fan shining through the grill at the back here. Also you've got room here for a 140 all-in-one liquid cooler, or a RAD, or down to a 120 as well. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 expansion slot. Everything looks really well built, and also you've got the bracket on here for the vertical mounted graphics card. You essentially just undo that screw, lift the bracket up, put the graphics card in place, and obviously you've got 2 thumb screws protruding outside the case here to make it easier to screw them down tight to install that. You've also got, if I can get it out, bear with me, a fan filter at the bottom here. Pull that out, goes the length of the case. Very well made, really good quality on the fan filter as well down at the back. Okay, so moving on to the top of the case, as you can see we've got our standard configuration. You've got 2 audio jacks, you've got your headphone and your microphone, you've got your reset button, your LED for the hard drive, a nice sort of blue-purple LED around the big power switch up here as well, 2 USB 3, 2 USB 2, and your Thermaltake logo. Under here you have, well, on here you have got a magnetic mesh panel to cover over the top of the case. Really well made, good construction on that as well. And up at the top you can see the various different configurations that we can actually do in terms of fans and radiator support, and various different positions that we can put them in. So you have got room for 3 120 or 140mm fans, and there's even support for 2 200mm fans if you did really want to go that big. In terms of the radiator support and all-in-one liquid coolers, you can have a 360, a 280, a 240, a 120, whatever you want, but the maximum you can go up on here is the 360mm, so a triple 120 radiator up at the top. Really good design on this. You can see there's going to be plenty of airflow coming out through the top of the case, which is good to see, and I see the slide implementation for the support is really well made. So for the hard drive cage removal, the cage itself is actually held in by 2 screws at the back, and you can quite easily unscrew them and pull the actual cage out itself. And then the bottom section here is actually held in by 4 screws, again very easily accessible, and then obviously you can remove that metal piece down at the bottom. You've got plenty of room in here then for your radiator, for your pump, for easy access then to the fans, etc. But a great deal of space is then created once you remove that hard drive cage. Okay, so moving on to the pre-installed Ring RGB fans. Now, they are the older type of fans, so there's 256 colours combinations that you can actually get from this, and you do have to use this control unit to actually control the colours, the speed, etc. on the fan. You'll also note that this is a 5-pin fan connector, so again, you really do need to use this control unit, which is a little bit of a shame, really, that they don't include the newer RGB Ring Plus, I think it is, fans, but you do get a connection here that goes straight onto a cable that runs straight through to the motherboard to obviously provide power to this, and I do believe you can actually connect through to another one of these controllers, so if you were to buy another set of fans you can obviously use that. You've got 3 buttons up at the top here. I don't know if you can quite see that. So you've got speed, play, pause and mode, which we'll go through in a moment, and you also get a little bit of an instruction leaflet here as well to tell you the various different things and how to go and get that set up. Okay, so we've now got it connected up, powered up, and the lights inside the room turned down low so that we can have a look at the colour effects available. With it being red on the control unit, that means that it is currently in the low noise mode, so that's 400 to 1000 RPM. If I press the speed button, that then turns blue, and it goes up to 800 to 1500 RPM. As you can see, the LEDs are off at the moment. Press the mode button and it will start to flash 4 times, and then it will start to cycle through the 256 different colour combinations, going from red to green to blue to yellow, whatever the order actually is. Press the mode button again and it will stay a solid red, and pressing it again goes on to blue, then white, and then finally green. And obviously you do have an option to turn it off as well. But when you're in this mode here with the 256 colour, this is where the play pause button comes in. So what you can actually do is find the colour that you want your case LED fans to be. So I'll just wait for a bit of a bizarre colour to come round. There we go. We'll click on there and you'll get a little bit of a flash, and it will keep that colour on the system, on the Ring fans, every time you start the system up. And obviously if you do fancy a change, just press the play button again and it will continue to cycle through all the various different colours. So the big question then is whether or not this case is worth £120, and in my opinion it definitely is. It ticks all the right boxes. There are a few little niggly bits that I'm not particularly too happy about that I would have liked to have seen, but overall you're getting a very solid case with plenty of room in there for you to expand, to put water cooling, to put your hardline loops. You're getting 3 140mm RGB fans included, and you're getting fantastic build quality. So for in my opinion, this case is definitely worth the money that they're asking at this moment in time. So there are links down below in the description to where you can go and find out the latest availability and the pricing on Amazon. Obviously do please leave a like on the comment if you did enjoy the video, share it with your friends, leave a comment, let me know what you think. There is more information on the website NismoTech.com as well. But for now, this is Andy from NismoTech, and I'll look forward to seeing you in my next video.